What's up, y'all? It's Miles with the Minimum, back again with another video on this fine Thursday. And today I'm going to be talking about the MTV Music Awards. Now, I'll be completely honest, I did not watch them. I forgot they were coming on, but if I knew, I definitely would have checked, or I would have watched it as it was coming on. But I did look at all the live performances that were on YouTube, like literally all of them. So that is what I'll be talking about. I'll be going over the good, the bad, the ugly, like what I liked and disliked, and so basically my video is going to be like, I'll talk about some of my favorite performances, and then I'll be talking about some of the highlights, and then some of the negatives, which there actually weren't that many negatives. I really did enjoy this year's music awards, or what I watched anyway. But without further ado, oh, I actually forgot. I did just make a Instagram for my YouTube channel. It's just my YouTube handle, Miles with the Minimum. If you type that in Instagram, you should find it. But yeah, if you have any spare time, if you're feeling generous, just go ahead and give me a follow. I'll definitely be asking you guys questions on there as to what videos you think I should be creating, or Q&As, polls and stuff like that. So if you want to get involved with that, go ahead and follow me at Miles with the Minimum on Instagram. But yes, now without further ado, I will be getting on into today's video. So yes, I did watch all the performances that were listed on YouTube, and I will be getting into my favorites. So one of my favorite performances was Ozuna. I believe he performed the song La Funka, and I'm not sure what that means, but I did enjoy the performance because it was really fun. It was actually pretty simple too. Like, there wasn't too much going on. Like, the set was nice, the background dancers were doing their thing, but I liked the whole like claw that was in the back, and how the Moon Man changed into like a teddy bear or whatever. And then I believe as the performance was closing, he showed his country's flag. I thought that was a really nice touch. But yeah, it was a really fun performance. And it was almost like a palate cleanser compared to some of the other stuff I saw. But I'll be getting into that as the video progresses. But yeah, I really liked Ozuna's performance. Next, I'll be talking about Miss Olivia Rodrigo, and I really, really enjoyed her performance. Good for you. I was really hoping she wasn't gonna, I knew she was gonna be there. I was just hoping she wasn't gonna sing Driver's License, because I really just can't get into that song. But good for you, that is my song. So I'm really glad she performed that. It was very high energy. She seemed very engaged with the audience. She was, giving people high fives, doing the whole like, she was really getting the crowd hyped. And then she broke the camera at the end of her performance, but I thought it was really high energy. It was really fun to watch her perform. Now I will say, I think she sung it in like a lower register, but it was completely fine.
Look how she ate that.
Next, I'd like to talk about Miss Casey Musgraves. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting her to be there, just because, I don't know, not that she wouldn't fit into the MTV Awards, it just, I don't know, I just wasn't expecting her to be there, but I was excited to see her. I'm glad she performed Star-Crossed, because that is one of my favorite songs from her most recent album, Star-Crossed. But I feel like some people might have thought it was a snooze, but I really liked how dramatic it was. I liked how the heart set on fire, like that gave me chills. And then her vocals, and she didn't have a whole bunch of backup dancers running across the stage, and there wasn't like fireworks going off or anything, but it was very simple, but it was very captivating at the same time. And that is an element people neglect sometimes when it comes to live performances, that you don't always need to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff to keep people's attention. But it was very low-key, but it was definitely like kind of like dark and creepy, which I love that type of music. And yeah, I definitely would recommend you listen to her album and definitely watch the performance on YouTube. One of my next favorite performances would be Troye Sivan. Now, I'll be honest, when the performance first started, like, when the music came on, it was fine. Like, he was doing his thing, and then Tate McRae, I think that's how you say her name, she came on stage, and the energy was a little bit awkward at first, I thought. But it looked like as the performance went on, they started to have a little bit more fun and loosen up. But I had never heard that song, and it was a pretty good song. So
yeah, get into it.
Definitely loosened up near the end of the performance. But next, I wanted to talk about Sway Lee and Alicia Keys. Now, I actually wasn't expecting this duo, but it worked actually. Like, I had another song I had never heard before, but the music worked really well. It was really a vibe. Sway Lee, he wasn't on stage for very long, but he did his thing, and then he handed it over to Alicia, and I will say she did sound a bit different. I don't know. I feel like over the years, her voice has changed, but she did her thing. It worked. I thought it was nice how she gave shout outs to some of the artists from New York, including herself. But a really sincere and almost like sensual performance. But yeah, now on to some highlights I wanted to make sure I talked about. Now, these are things that weren't necessarily like my favorite, but they weren't like bad, just things I had noticed while I was watching some of the performances. But forgetting the performances for this one, let's talk about Doja Cat's appearances now. Like I said, I didn't actually watch the VMAs, but I saw her outfits everywhere. You know, the whole like shrouded heap that was over her head, that was crazy. And then everyone was talking about her chicken feet. Like that one took me out. It was so weird, but that's just Doja. And also her performances were pretty good. It was like some interpretive dance or something she had going on, and then when she came down in the harness, I thought that was really cool. But yeah, Doja Cat, yeah, she was a good host from what I saw, and yeah, she definitely made her mark as a VMA host, right? And some people might get mad at this, but I have to give credit where it's due, and I will say Camila Cabello, on the night of the VMAs, she actually had really good visuals for her performance. Now, that's just my opinion. I think how it started off in like black and white, and then we saw all those bright colors, and then all the backup dancers, and it actually looked really good. But like I said, it was more of a highlight for me, not necessarily like my favorite performance or something that was really bad, but it's just something I took note of. I also wanted to take a minute to talk about Shawn Mendes. Now, I feel like when people think of him, they think of like just the, average, white male artist, kind of doing the bare minimum. But I actually thought the song, or when he performed, it felt really sincere. It looked like he really enjoyed, and he was like into his performance, and then he was also interacting with the fans, and then he just, like I said, he seemed really into his song, and I feel like he's not necessarily underrated, but I feel like people don't give him enough credit. But yeah, I just wanted to say I thought he did really good. I thought he had a really good performance, and hopefully over time he can get a little bit more like experimental with his music. But as for this performance, the night of the MTV VMAs, I thought it was good. Now on to the negatives, which there's not that many actually. But my first one is Normani. So her dancing was like phenomenal. Like, there's nobody doing it like her when it comes to choreography. I don't think, or there's not a lot of people that can touch her choreography. But I did think, and I said this when she first released Wild Side, I just thought, all the choreography didn't really fit the song and the vibe the song had going. So her performance was just a little awkward to me. Like there was a lot of parts where she had the microphone down, or it was hard to hear her, and then just like I said, the music just didn't match the dancing she was doing to me. But that's but other than that, I thought it was really nice seeing her there, especially since it's been so long. She had Motivation, and then it's been a minute, and then it's nice to see her back and performing on stage. But yeah, that's really like my biggest negative. But on to the next one. My next negative would be about Justin Bieber. And this one was kind of random, but I thought it was weird that he had his face covered the whole time during his performance. Maybe that's what he was going for, being like mysterious or whatever, but I feel like the songs, they were like the high energy songs they were singing, the whole like shrouded face, it was throwing me off. I was like, put your hood down. But other than that, he sounded really good, and I had never heard of Kid Leroy before, but I thought their performance was really fun. They seemed to complement each other very well. And but yeah, I was just like, Justin, put your hood down. Lastly, I'll be discussing Chloe Bailey. Now, Chloe Bailey had one of the most memorable performances like of all time. Like let's be honest, like the vocals were there. She had everybody's attention. I mean, she really did that. Like,
wow, what a moment. I will never forget. A moment.
While I did like some of the choreography that was incorporated into her performance, I did think at some points it was just a bit too much, and that's just my opinion. I'm not hating on her. I think she's incredibly talented, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like she's so talented, she just didn't have to do so much. But I mean, I understand that she might have wanted people to see like a different side of her. She's trying to show people that she's more than she's perceived to be, and she's trying to explore herself. I mean, and that's fine. Like I can hear y'all like typing right now, like, oh, you just hate women, you just hate black women, and it's like, no. She can do whatever she wants, but just in my personal opinion, I did think some parts of the choreography were a little bit much. But that's really it. That's all I gotta say today. All right, and that is it. Those are all my opinions, or my thoughts about the MTV VMAs 2021. Like I said, I know I did not actually watch it when it came on, but based off my experience, watching all the live performances, I do think this year didn't disappoint. I did enjoy them. But as always, if you have any, grievances, or if you agree with anything I'm saying, let me know in the comments. I'm more than willing to conversate and engage with you guys, and you can actually engage more, via my Instagram, Miles with the Minimum. I'll leave that in the description, and I'll try and make a little like text thing to make that a bit easier for you guys. But yes, follow me at Miles with the Minimum. And that is it for today's video. And I hope you guys have a good one.